Here we are, my friends. This is the fourth stage of this story, the storyline. Remember, it began with initially Charlie's crime, and then it went to the actual participants who really was involved in Charlie's crime. And then the third one was the motivation. And motivation is going to be very difficult, very, very difficult. And that's anybody's guess, and you could just pretend. And the fourth part of this was just Erika Kirk just providing nothing but absolute limitless fun and excitement. She's the gift that keeps on giving, because you can't believe that she actually exists. You can't believe it. You can't. And the more I see, I mean, I think I've seen everything, that everybody, I've seen every, combination. Not even close. Not even close. Absolute incredible. This is the story that keeps on giving. Now, what we've been seeing lately, doing these, and I love doing the live streams with you. It's just a different dimension. When you're talking to the thing by yourself and nobody's there, you're wondering, is anybody listening to this? And then later on, you're going to find out. So I like to see active numbers and the like. But we've been getting more and more folks, and we always welcome them because we love good, healthy debate. Courteous. We don't want to be name calling or anything, but I mean, extremely obstreperous name calling. We don't want execration and the like. But we've had a couple of people coming in and say that you people are crazy. And I love this. You're crazy. And whenever we ask them, well, why are we crazy? They can't answer it because they really don't know anything about this. You have to know the facts of the case. But the greatest thing that's happening, and this is what I've been telling you for the longest time, and this is all started at the behest, at the inspiration of Candace Owens, who has been just, come on. There's nobody else. Baron Coleman has been exquisite. Hats off to you. Absolutely a one-man torquemada. He's like a Watergate committee. Colin's been terrific. Jimmy Dore. They keep saying, Jimmy Dore's a comedian. As though a comedian, some of the most brilliant people in the world have been comedians. And some of the most brilliant comedians have been people, if you think about it. But he's brought up some terrific stuff about how the storyline of Tyler it doesn't make any sense. It's been fantastic. And then there have been these other great folks, Nissi, and I've told you about this. I made some Nis. I think her name is Nissi. Yes, Nisscee. Christine Feckerty, who does the most incredible deep AD Fleet. Oh my God! I got and there's a bunch of other folks in here, but they've been just terrific, wonderful. But all of this is a part of, and our latest one, I ran into this. You're going to love this one. Their names are, well, they're YouTube. Well, they're I guess YouTube, but their Twitter is Brandy and Billie. Brandy, BRNDI, and Billie, BILLIE show. Two young ladies who are just terrific, and they had some of the most very interesting take. They were in the courtroom amidst and among Tyler's family, and they were listening, and they were basically getting a good idea as far as they didn't think he did this. Listen, and I know, when you've got a real nutcase in your family, this guy said, yep, that's Jerry, all right. It's a matter of time. But all of them are saying, no. By the way, they're on YouTube as well, I think. But the point is, this is a huge crowdsourcing. And I love this because this is the people's grand jury. Remember the old days of the Oh, this was important. The Russell tribunals, and in fact, the Russell tribunals are a phenomenal. Let me give you a little update. The Russell Tribunal, also called the SART Tribunal. These were Vietnam, post-Vietnam. These were the, let me see this. Ooh, tribunals. This is Vietnam. This was so terrific. They would meet, and the tribunals, yes. After the Vietnam War, there was no formal international tribunal, but they had these informal and political tribunals, the most famous being Russell Tribunal, organized by Bertrand Russell and supported by Jean-Paul Sartre and others, Sartre. And supporters say it exposed truths about the media and government, and it was wonderful. The tribunals are recognized. They were not recognized by any government, but it had no legal power to prosecute. But it had something else. It held hearings and gathered testimony and accused the United States of war crimes, including bombings of civilians, the use of chemical weapons like Agent Orange. Inside Vietnam, after the war ended in 1975, there were re-education camps, not tribunals. I mean, there's all of these independent shows. It's this one called, did you ever see The Winter Soldier? Was it Winter Soldier doc? Yes. The Winter Soldier. Oh, my God. Winter Soldier. Did you see that? These Vietnam tribunals. It was wild. I mean, you couldn't believe what was involved. They would sit around, they would talk, and they would explain how, yep, Winter Soldier, yep, you have to see this. 1971, it was a landmark 1971 public inquiry in which U.S. Vietnam War veterans gave testimony. It was incredible. It was in Detroit from January 31st to February 2nd, 1971. They talked about the My Lai massacre. They talked about everything. It was at a Howard Johnson's hotel. It was incredible. You've got to see this Winter Soldier. And the purpose of this is that individuals brought this about. Individuals. Our good friend Richard McCarthy, Dick McCarthy, says so much opportunity to learn and to help one another. Absolutely. Could not have said it. And thank you. Absolutely. What I'm saying is, you don't need Kash Patel. Hey, you don't need him. You don't need these people. They're worthless. We're beyond, the gig's up. We've already heard this. You can't even, they couldn't even release Epstein files. You want these people involved in this? Stop it. Stop it. It's ridiculous. It's we can do this. And when we do this and we say, here it is, if all of a sudden we put in, what I want to do is a mini trial. I want to put a mini trial on, and I want to put the evidence, and I want people to hear this, and we can do a mock trial, get some lawyers, get a judge, put this on, and let people, for a special YouTube or a special public digital platform extravaganza. You decide. Click at home. Text this number. Who wins? Who? It would be incredible. It would be unbelievable. Because the government is not going to help you. They're not going to help you. They're so into this. They're so connected to this. I don't know if it's because it's TPUSA or if it's because it's conservatism or there's a lot of money coming in. I don't know. But forget the government. Just forget it. It's not going to happen. None of it's going to happen. And the thing about it is that we really don't need them. We know what's going on. And here's the thing. If you want to say something, prove it. Don't just say, give you an example. Jimmy Dore. He was just the other day talking about something, and he went through the whole notion of the preposterous nature of Tyler taking his rifle, clambering up this wall or whatever it is, going on the roof, putting back together again. This is this 30-06, and I've got to hear more of this. I want to find out where he got this from specifically. I mean, I take his word for it, obviously, but he's clambering up, and then he takes this rifle and he has a screwdriver and he has to put it together again, and then fire it again, and then take it apart, and then take it back down, and then put it back together again, because they found it with the towel wrapped around it, and they quote found DNA. And so what Jimmy Dore was doing, which is the most sense, was he said, let's just think about it. How do you do this? There's always a practical nature. There's always a practical explanation for something. There is a practical explanation. I remember one time I had a second-degree murder case. And eventually, they didn't go to trial. He pled. But there was this one picture I saw where they found this guy in his car. And he was involved. He was behind the wheel. And I said, how do you, unless somebody just dumped him there, how do you get there? And assuming he's sitting there and he decides to dispatch himself, the wheel was like right here. I couldn't figure out how he contorted himself. Was he writhing? I don't know. But unless you look at the specifics of the case, the specifics, who, the time, the temperature, the where, who was there, how hard it was to climb up. Did you really see these people? Did you really see him move across? Did you really see him move across? Is that him? Is that Tyler? How do we know? Where was the rifle? And for him to take this thing and get this, well, here we go. There's this, got this thing here. Did you ever see these things? By the way, this is this came when I put together a chair. Man, but does this make a, woo. This will get your attention in a crowd. But assuming it's something like this, and you've got to do this, and you got to put this piece together, and God forbid anything becomes misaligned. God forbid the barrel, the scope, anything. It makes no sense. Jamie Burlington says, was watching Barron before this, surprised he's caught the TPUSA usual suspects in more lies. Scoundrels they are. I also want to find out, and I want to say this carefully, make sure the lies mean something. Make sure the lies get you. If you talk to people, remember, a regular jury who's coming in at this at the last minute, and you talk about all the tarmac hugs and you flew in here and you were on the plane by yourself and then he wasn't. A lot of people are going to say, where are we going with this? And you could say, inconsistent statements for the sake of inconsistent doesn't help you. If it's not, remember, when you take a case or trial, you want to get rid of all the stuff that doesn't matter. Don't confuse people. Get down to this. Boom, 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 boom. That's it. Don't confuse them. Prosecution's got to prove it was there. Defense have to prove reasonable doubt, and all this other kind of stuff. And by the way, that's terrific because remember, if they're lying about stuff that, God forbid, just to show people, they're lying about stuff that doesn't even matter. But in terms of the actual involvement, proof, and by the way, to say proof of something, that's a very difficult thing. I don't think we're at the proof level yet. Remember something. We don't have to prove anything yet. We don't have to prove anything. To defend Tyler, you don't have to prove anything. Just dispute it. Just dispute it. Throw some things. First of all, there's the gravamen, the bulk of what you're trying to use in your defense, picking away. And then we just here's some other shite. Here's some other stuff. You're going to love this. Just to show you how messed up and weird these people were. How very strange. For example, in a defense of Tyler, I wouldn't probably show anything from Erica at all. because it doesn't go to his defense. And the judge most probably would say that's irrelevant. Yeah, but I want to show the picture of Erica at the funeral, but that's irrelevant. She's not on trial, he's on trial. So remember, keep in mind what we're talking about. Some of this stuff is great just to show how just she's a fraud and TPUSA. Listen, I couldn't care less. I'm not going to give them a dime. Whatever happens to them is up to them. How anybody, put it this way, you have got to be so insulated, and I think a lot of people are, so insulated from the facts of the case not to understand this. I just don't. First of all the money, all these private planes, all these jets, what is going on? The money? Did you see all the money these people make? Wow. But anyway, you know who else did a great one too? A terrific one is Wolves in Finance. Wolves in Finance, terrific, absolutely great. John says, any of these guys take the same antidepressants? You think? Any of you guys take the same antidepressants? Could be. I don't know. I'm not sure. Remember, my whole thing, just for purposes of this, is let me imagine this. Let me introduce defense exhibit number 1, or witness number 1. Marine sniper, FBI sniper school, somebody, and said, "Sir, may I show you something?" And you mark all this, you mark all your exhibits beforehand. And anytime you have any kind of firearm as an exhibit, you've got to make sure you got to take the bolt out. You put that in some handguns. You take the cylinder out and you put that piece of, that tape or that cord. You've got to really satisfy, because people will freak out. Anytime juries see this, you got to make sure. No, wait. This is nothing in here. See here, and you got to really show them. But anyway, imagine this, Mr. State your name for the record. My name is such and such, and I've been with the FBI, and I was with the Marine Corps, and I was a gunnery sergeant. Okay, here you go. Would you like this? This is a screwdriver. Good. Take this weapon apart now, and just time it, and just watch him. Watch what a guy in a courtroom with a nice little towel, or one of those, those mats, where you, and he's sitting there and he's doing this, and he can take his time. No pressure, nobody watching. He's not on his belly. It's pretty good. How long have you been doing this? 30 years. Good. Now, do me a favor. Put it back together again. It goes like this. Puts it back. Okay, great. Not bad. And then time it. Now, take it apart again. I let them see this. No pressure, no sweating, no worry, no nothing. Because if, as Jimmy had suggested, or maybe something similar to this, he can't go up there with this rifle down your leg. It's got to be in part. And where it is, I have no idea. Is it in a bag? Where did he do this? And then you're taking it down and taking it apart, and so you have to have it has to be loose, right? To take it up, I guess. You're not going to be caught with this rifle. Maybe you do. It depends. Either way, break it down, put it together. Break it down, put it together. And you can say, and by the way, Mr. Expert, what happens if the scope is off? You're going to put that. A lot can be moved here. Can you center this ahead of time? Can you? If you're a professional sniper, do snipers do this? You always see them on TV. They always open up. They always have their shooting their rifle in a case and all that. Do you advise that? No. This guy's what, 20-something years old? Does he know how to do this? Got to keep your breathing under control. Got to keep all this stuff. You can't be nervous. Tell me things like weather, wind, density of the air, topography, the load, tell me all of the variables. And what would you normally do? Well, I would have a spotter with me and we do this. Is this distance close enough where you would not need a spotter? Oh, no. No, absolutely. Why? Because I can't hit anybody else. I don't want to hit anybody else. Now, if I were to tell you, Mr. So-and-so, do you think this is pretty good shooting? Yeah. What if I told you that wasn't a bullet? It was something else. That would make more sense because that means he wouldn't have had to shoot anything. Because it can be done, but wow. Because this is a weird kind of a thing. We don't know about that, and we don't have the ME's report, and we don't know any of this stuff. Just imagine this jury going back and saying, doubt, over, doubt. That's it. That's not guilty. I have to prove anything. You know, he didn't like what Charlie was saying about trans. So what? You know, he had a gay boyfriend. So what? You know, he might have written a text. So what? I don't care what he wrote. Doing it's another story. And you got to prove he did it beyond a reasonable doubt. You got to prove he did it. And either you got to show me how he did it, who saw him do it, how do you know he did it, did he admit to it, who said what? We don't know. You don't know anything. And what I'm trying to tell you is that, can you imagine if for some reason this guy walks? Oh, dear God. Can you imagine? I can't. You don't think that's possible? And if you create the theme to this jury that they had it in for this guy, he's a patsy. Listen, he's no angel. Nobody's, who knows? He had a gun. Why has he got a gun? I don't even know. Maybe he wanted to do that. Maybe he did. Maybe he wishes he could. But did they prove it? Did they prove it? So what? And you want that jury to be so disgusted. Like, what am I doing here? That's another thing, too. Why'd you bring me? Why? State your name for the record. Candace Owens. Anybody call you? No. Now, that'd be a good one to get in there. How do you get that in there? Maybe the argument is that there was such a rush to judgment and, believe it or not, and almost an inherent incompetence on the part of perhaps, of the defense team. Do you know what it's like? I'd be on the phone saying, yes, Ms. Owens, hi. I represent Tyler Robinson. Can I come talk to you? Yes. Could you bring any of your compatriots, Mr. Coleman, Mr. whoever? Can you bring them? Can I talk to you? Ms. Owens, is there anything in particular you want? Oh, and by the way, Mr. Wolves and Finance, is there anything you would like me? And I would also talk to these two, Brandy and Billy. I would say, when you were in the courtroom, what did you notice? Tell me something. Let me say, ooh, I never thought about that. That's good. What was her name? Who was that person? They're not on the witness list. Who is this? Would you recognize them? Did they identify themselves as his aunt or cousin or neighbor? That's how you do this. Plus, you have the best investigators that are already gone out and do it. They've already done this. This is the, oh my God. And depending upon, and if I could do some research ahead of time, if Candace Owens, her popularity rating, her Q rating, or her popularity, whatever they have these various indices, and you can take all kinds of polling ahead of time. But let's say she were to, I'm just saying, show up at the trial. Show up. I don't know if she can be in there. If normally you have a thing called invoking the rule of sequestration. Anybody who's going to be testifying or will be testifying cannot be in the courtroom. Cannot. If you're going to call them, and there's no way we're going to call Candace Owens, have her sit there. Larry King did it during the OJ trial. They've done it before. Jimmy Breslin used to do it. Can you imagine if they look out and they say, is that Candace Owens? Wow, that's Candace. Ooh. I wonder whose side she's on. What do you think? Can you do that? Uh-huh. Yeah. During John Gotti's trial, Anthony Quinn showed up. Remember Jay Black from Jay and the Americans? He was in there. Mickey Rourke. All of them showing up, sitting there, watching the. They used to bring. Who was it? Was it the Joe? Didn't Joe Louis one time sit in a courtroom? Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Because who's looking out for this guy? Now, by the way, listen. I could, for all we know, somebody could say, "Come here, let me show you something." This kid's so guilty, it's not even funny. Let me show you. Please show me. Please show me. There's La Ranita Nebug says there are more chances Floyd actually couldn't breathe than this kid de-living Kirk. I like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. De-living. I like that. Yeah. Well, listen. Like I said, and thank you, by the way, good lady. I could listen. If somebody says, "No, you got it all wrong, my friend," please tell me. I don't think so, but I want to know the truth. We want to know the truth. Bring in the truth. And this is what I also worry about. I can see somebody saying, I mentioned this before, it'd be a lot better if maybe one day we didn't have to worry about him. You know what I mean? It'd be a lot better if we didn't have to worry about him. You understand that? You got this? Look at this. Is that beautiful or what? Salute. Look at this great work. Thank you. You have no idea how much this is my thing. I've seen this before. I've seen this. This courtroom stuff, when you get in there, you don't know. And once it starts, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. I'm telling you, I've had it happen. It's wild. But then you think to yourself, and again, I unless you get into it, then you know right away what happens. If they're setting this kid up for something, can't have that happen. But I hate to keep saying this, but if something happened to him, God forbid, something happened, when all of a sudden he was, I don't know, he just went away, that would be horrible. And the reason why it would be horrible is because the case would be over. Jamie Burlington says, what do you think chances of a televised trial? It's funny. I'm still, the jury's out with that one. I think, since it's not federal court, there's a chance. I think in this particular case, I would say I want a televised trial. I want to see it. The Sixth Amendment provides the right for a defendant to a speedy and a public trial. And the reason why they want a public trial is because you don't want to have a little star chamber. One of these, like that Ceausescu, that lunchroom justice, in the middle of the night, some, room somewhere. You want it to be open to the public where you can walk in and see this. Oh, I think it'd be great. It would also make it very difficult for somebody to throw this case. Now, Wolves in Finance, Mr. Wolves in Finance, mentioned something about he had some questions about who the lawyers were. I don't know about that. I want to know is, first thing I'm going to talk to is, let me talk to the parents. Yeah, what did he tell you? What did he tell you exactly? Each person individually. What did he tell you? He said he did it. Tell me when you tell me. What exactly? Do you have anything in writing? Any text or anything? Tell me what he told you. And when did he tell you this? And what does he know? And is there something, is your son okay? Is there something wrong with him? Is he susceptible to anything? I don't want to hear anything about text messages. Text messages can be fixed anytime. You can change the wording. I'm just saying. But what did he tell you? What was his demeanor like? Did he seem afraid? Did you talk to him in person? What did he tell you specifically? Did he seem at all confused? Did he all remember, what did we think about, kids? MK Ultra. Not that he's injected. See, the MK Ultra that people used to think about is when you would be zapped with LSD or something and you'd wake up, with a gun in your hand and, I don't remember, And that's really not it. There's sometimes just more of a conditioning, kind of a mind control, menticide, changing the way you think about things. I don't know. But parents know their kids. You know your kids. He was not right. He was scared. It's like they told him, they worried him or threatened him or something. And that's why, if there was a way to do this, in the old days, he would say, get him on a state custody. I want him segregated. And when you tell somebody that, you're basically telling the Utah people, I don't trust you because you could assist in his dispatch. And they take great umbrage at that. They go, what are you talking about? What are you suggesting? Well, I'm just saying that maybe, maybe what? Well, I don't know if I trust you so much. I don't know if I really trust you. I don't know if I like this. I don't trust you. There's something about this case. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, one of the best things to do, one of the greatest things to do, okay, that's that. And when we do this, you're going to want me to be doing the trial by play by play. You're going to want me to do that, guaranteed. If this thing goes live, or goes, whoa, what we should do? We should fly into someplace and have a big viewing party or something. It's terrible to think that. But listen, to the old days, remember the Scopes Monkey trial in 1920, whatever it was? People would come and they would hand out those fans from the funeral home. People went to courts. They almost crushed. They had to move the case outside and people went to see trials. The Lindbergh case in New Jersey, that was maybe the crime of the century. OJ, this past week in LA with the Meta case, you have the right to a seat. Remember, speedy in a public trial. They want you to be a part of this. They want you to be there, to see it, to watch what happens. And you can't tell anything until you catch the flavor of this. I remember one time I did something, they had me do a TV thing, and I walked in and all I saw was, I think it was opening statement. I said, oh, that's it. It's done. It's done. The opening statement was so good. It was like there was nothing to be, there was no, And sometimes you got to go to trial because, And who are the prosecutors? Who's getting stuck with this dog? That's what I want to know. Are they going to make him a deal? Don't make him a deal. Don't take the deal. Don't say, listen, plead. We'll guarantee you. We have the firing squad, and no. How do I tell him that? No, go to trial. Force him to do it. Again, depending upon, unless there's something, a smoking gun, literally, that we don't know about. Don't take a deal. They'll give you manslaughter. No, because we're not going to find out what happened. I want to find out. Of course, we're going to be using this kid as kind of a not a fulcrum, but as a lever, as bait. But I want to get to the bottom of this. And then the next case, I want to do a production, the likes of which. Big stage, dark, big screens, starring Candace Owens. As she comes out, this is Kovac. This is Tyler Buck. This is this, and this. This is what they said. Lie. And anytime there's said this on this day, this on this, ding. Anytime there's a lie, you see a big X, ding. They lie for reasons. This is what she will say. For reasons you can't even. And then you wait. Remember the song? Remember, honey, the prime of Miss Jean Brody, This would be the prime of Miss Erika Kirk. There she is. Oh my God. There is nothing like her. Nothing. Just, I swear, there are these people who take things, I didn't know this. Everything she ever said was a classic. Erica providing great content. Oh, it's not content, it's you can't believe this. You can't believe this. Remember Stormy Daniels, Dusty Saddles, whatever her name was, that tramp with, she's this harlot, this porn star with Trump. Remember this one? Remember this? You say, what is this? She was like, excuse me, did you star in, just read the names of what she did? Then E. Jean Carroll, remember that one? The woman who claimed she was, a jury agreed apparently, that she was mauled at a Bergdorf Goodman dressing room. Remember this woman? She was on Rachel Maddow, and I'm going to buy you what do you want, Rachel? I'm going to buy you a motorcycle, and I'm going to buy you. And her lawyer was saying, don't. She was like, oh, that was beautiful. That's nothing compared to this. It's nothing compared to Erica. Which Erica do you want? Which Erica do you want? Which one? Let me tell you how good Erica is. I could do an AI piece that is so off the wall and say, tell me what's AI and what's not. And then show you a real interview. You couldn't tell the difference. Half the time you go for the interview. And when Drewski probably says, I don't think, let's face it, I'm just saying, I'm sure Mr. Drewski is a fine man who has his finger in the pulse of society. But I don't think the Erika Kirk and TPUSA was really something that they worried about all the time. I don't see that. But even he couldn't get past it. You can't miss this. Just 5 minutes of her, you think, this can't be real. Oh yeah, it's real. This is real. No, this is real. This is really real stuff. She's just, and then remember all those people. I'd love to go through all those folks on Fox News and saying, did you really do this? I know. Hey, Barry Weiss, did you do this? I know. How did I know? Your nut alarm didn't go off at all? Nothing? Huh? It's wild. Because right now, I guess the conservatives or whatever are so bereft of, this is out of all the great women, proud Christian, Candace, others, no, but I'm saying, this is it, because you know what it is? Whenever you bring out that Hollywood, hey, look at me. Hey, the glam, flam, zim, flam, flim, flam, the clam, flam. You know what I mean? Look at me. I got my thing on, and hey, I got my sparkles and all that stuff, and yeah, I'm doing my dab in my eyes and doing my thing and doing the rat-tat-tat and the two-step, and here I am with the sparklers and the lame, and hey, Baba Reba sliding. Oh God. And you're thinking, this is a widow? We all grieve differently. Hey, Baba Reba, hey. We all grieve. Don't mention me. What are your kids' names? Huh? Erica, what are your kids' names? Juju? No, Jerry, Joe, I don't know. You ever hear about them? Attention, Charlie's family. Are you aware? Did they do a Nancy Guthrie on these people? Where are they? Mr. Mount. I'm sorry, Mount. I can't. I'm sorry. I am so. Mountain Star Studio. Money transfer from the have-nots to the have-yachts. Ooh. Listen. Nobody is suggesting in the moment, for any reason, that doing great work for, you know, the Lord or whatever it is, that has to be without any kind of remuneration. But my God, didn't Candace say that Charlie was talking about doing a Doge type thing? See, none of these people, nobody I've seen. Have you seen the Charlie Kirk show? Oh my God. I don't even, well, they call it the Charlie Kirk show. I don't know if they, maybe you can tell. Do any of these people impress you as being particularly smart? Any of them where you say, wow, you know, that guy's good. Anybody? No. And by the way, whatever you want, my thing is not TPUSA. Lionel, what chance YouTube, big tech, is pushing the anti-Erica topic? The anti-Erica topic? Maybe Tyler did it, but parallel construction hides NSA intel in the municipal court. I'm going to try this again in English. What chance YouTube high tech is pushing the anti-Erica topic? You think that? I don't think they have any feel one way or the other. It's a subject. Maybe Tyler did it, but parallel construction hides NSA intel inadmissible in the court. I have no idea what that means, but thank you. I don't know what that means. NSA intel. I don't know what that means. First, everybody anywhere, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, everybody just wants people just to talk about something. And as long as you stay within the realms of supposition and opinion and all that kind of stuff, and the analysis of fact, I don't think anybody's pushing anything one way or the other. Because right now, you're going to, remember, watch how all of a sudden, once you get that stink eye, for example, once Trump says, that's it, no. Did Trump go to TPUSA? I'm sorry, no, CPAC? CPAC, that's another group. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. See, this is what I tried to tell you before. I can't speak for you. But when it comes to politics, it's a very, very scary thing. And I can't presume you think one way or the other. We really don't talk about that here. I really don't. Maybe I got to tell you one thing which I'm noticing. And by the way, Candace is doing a lot of good work towards, listen, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for the Catholic, I mean, maybe not the Catholic Church as much as the Catholic schools and the nuns. I love them. But this Pope Leo got a hold. They say they need 2,000 new exorcists. One for every diocese. Did you hear what Putin said about Satanism in this country and about the PDF file? You would swear Candace said this, or you said this, or I said, anybody. It was the most lucid thing in the world. Sound familiar? Remember all those people that said, you're crazy. You think there's some big network. Really? Where'd you ever get that from? Oh, yeah. Epstein. Right. Do you see how things are changing? Tell me you see this. Raise your hand if you see it. We're changing. It's going like, it's just, the pendulum is now a wrecking ball. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's like nothing I've ever seen before. This country is disgusted with what's been going on. We are disgusted with what's happening. Dennis, by the way, says, parallel construction using secret intel to find a suspect, then rebuilding a separate legal evidence trail to use in court. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Thank you, by the way. That's certainly plausible. What I really want to see one time is this. Imagine having this AI machine, like a big bin and you take in all the interviews, it can be all your Erica stuff. Dump it in here. Give me just dump it in. Everything. Every interview, every creepy, bug eyes, crazy eyes. Remember Crazy Horse? She's like her Indian name, Crazy Eyes. And this just dump it into the bin, the hopper. And then throw in your TPUSA in there, and throw in your Candace stuff, and throw in your Baron Coleman in, and then Colin, and this, and everything. Wolves and Fires, just pour it in there. And then throw in this, and throw in that. And then throw in everything you can imagine. And then let it sift. You ever use the other day we had something, I forget what it was. We were doing something today. I'm doing some client taxes stuff. And there's this one particular thing I came up against. I go, what is this? What is this thing? So I just copied and paste, threw it in a ChatGPT. Oh, that. Nothing. It would have taken me forever to go through this. It's nothing. A lot of it's pro forma. That's what we're going to get with this. And imagine we dump this stuff in, and it spits out, where would you go? Probability. Give me a rating of it being, based upon what we're saying, rating of Tyler. 50%, 2%. Maybe at best, maybe maybe an accomplice or whatever, but active participant, no. Wouldn't that be great? Or nothing. Or you're going to see this. It's going to weigh the evidence. It's going to weigh the. Well, put it this way: Grok thought that Drewski was Erica. That's got to be still the funniest thing, bar none of anything. She must have been furious. This is Grok. This is AI. Didn't even notice the face and the width. And anyway, it's not my thing. I didn't do that. He did that. So anyway, I don't know where this is going. But also, when will someone? Oh, and by the way, the greatest thing ever. Can you imagine? Just dream. Just dream for a moment. Ian Carroll is creating web, like you just described. Excellent. Ian is very good. Another one, very, very impressed. I'm thinking more of like old. I'm more old school. Anyway, but that's exactly what we're talking about. But here is my dream. And if this happens, I will probably need a week off just to get ready and then to recover from it. Imagine 2-hour, winner take all, no holds barred, Texas death match, debate, Candace versus Erica. No time limit, no commercials, no moderator, nothing. Because moderators can always send you down some path that's ridiculous. Can you imagine that? Because the reason why is because anybody who's intimately aware of the facts, that's the person I want to know. If you know the facts of the case. If you know the facts, you're done. And Candace knows them intimately. Just done. 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 It's just, I can't even put it into words. Can't put it in. Can you imagine that? It would be the event. It would be like Geraldo's Vault meets the last episode of MASH or something. I mean, it might be the biggest event ever. Because people don't realize how many people watch this. You see, they don't understand this. See, they think that because they're not talking about it, nobody else talks about it. It's just like, for example, this may be an extraneous example, but when Dale Earnhardt died, the NASCAR racer, half of the country was in mourning. The other half said, who's Dale Earnhardt? It's just, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Put that tissue down. Give me that tissue. Just as I thought. Test this. Test the tissue. Get away. Get away. Get your hand off. Test this. Take it to lab. Menthol. Got it. You're not going to pull that here. Get out of here. That whole thing. It's, oh. Just, ooh. And all of this, none of this was responsible. And by the way, you know what would happen? Let me go back and tell you something. You know what would have changed everything? Go back. You know what would have changed something? You know what would have changed something? Had they just laid off Candace. Seriously. Nobody would have gone after, nobody would have cared about Erica Kirk. Nobody would have thought about Erica Kirk. Nobody. Think about it. Nobody cared about her. Nobody, still, she's tangential. She doesn't really matter. She does because she's insinuated herself into the storyline of this. But had they not, same thing with Brigitte Macron. Whether that dude had a pecker. Remember that? When they started going after Candace, sending her all kinds of lawsuits and cease and desist and all this kind of, that's when it started. That's the part that all they had to do was just ignore her. Say, what are you going to do? There's nothing more brutal than that. Brasileira mia, Carla says, late to the game, Pope Leo was right. All hell is breaking loose. Well, they're telling him, and you know about that, and I wasn't, Carla, thank you. I wasn't a big Leo fan, but he's on to something. And his people are just, they're coming at him full bore. This isn't just, and a lot of people, a lot of religious groups are saying, why don't we have exorcists? Why don't we have the devil? How come they've got the devil? Well, we don't have the devil? Think about it. It's really something. I mean, it's really fascinating. We are seeing something that is just. And by the way, keep an eye on that No Kings. This is George Floyd 2.0, baby. Do you hear what they had in L.A.? What was it, honey? They had what? Bricks and... piles of slate and bricks to throw. Yep. Van Nanken says, I would love to see Crazy Eyes get Al Capone. YouTube won't let me write. Oh. Trying to think, what does that mean? You know, all you have to do is spell things. Oh. Thank you. Well, you mean get syphilis? You know, he had tertiary syphilis, don't you? No, I'm kidding. That would be funny, wouldn't it be? You might say, I'm sorry, you can't show why. He has tertiary syphilis. What? Anyway, the good luck with that, by the way. Good luck with that. Okay, because I don't know if anything's going to happen. I, in my particular hierarchy, I couldn't care. Just so that you know, whatever TPUSA does, I don't care. It's up to them. Come on. They're no worse, no better, no worse than anybody else. Sorry, I know what you're thinking. But you mean to tell me they're worse than Jimmy Swaggart or anything? Come on, no, not really. Or, dare I say, in some aspects, the Catholic Church. There's a reason why people want to have that tax exemption. But that's a different story. But what I want to know specifically is this. Why are you lying about Candace? But another thing too is, you know this, who was it, this Aubrey? You know the young lady who was fired? That one got me too, and I agree with her. That one just, and especially with these poor, when you're young and you're impressionable and you believe in something, and you really, really have believed in something for a long time, and you put your life into it and your love, and you worked hours at a time, and your person that you did this for, they did it for Charlie. It was Charlie. Not Erica, not any other people. It was Charlie. And not only did they didn't just fire him. They could have fired him. They could have removed him from the board. Oh, no. Some genius said, oh, I know what I'm going to do. Because remember, when you get to the motivation, we can have all day with that. But one of the easiest and obvious motivators is if somebody wanted just to bring that organization down, take its life force, take its heart, take its soul, and there is no more TPUSA. It doesn't exist. He was it. He was it. He was so good. And really went out of his way. And the voluminous amount. Oh, he had his moments. He said some crazy things. Especially when it came to her. I think he was like I told you, I think he was not immature, but inexperienced. This guy, I don't think he had a lot of girlfriends. I don't think he knew what the hell was, And remember, I don't know about you, but it takes, you ever see somebody who lost their mind over a woman? No, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? Yeah. This is just conjecture and, behind the scenes and, inside baseball. I don't, who knows? But this is great. And wait till you see, and every single day. And by the way, anybody know our man, Barron, what does he do, 3-hour shows? How does he live? How do you do 3 hours and not die? Am I reading this correctly? How do you do this? This was the most, there's so much stuff here. So remember, we have that. We also have midterm elections. And we also are going to have somebody by the name of, we're going to see, is it going to be Vance for the Republicans? Who knows? I think for the Democrats, it looks like it's probably going to be Gavin Newsom, unless something, drastic comes along. I think that's going to be their guy. And for the Republicans, there's at least initially this fight between J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio. I don't know. And let me see. Stephen Salty says, Erica has become a meme. I don't believe she had anything direct to do with Charlie demise. I don't either. But she had, and the other minions have ruined everything. Oh, listen. Absolutely. We still don't know anything. We don't know anything. There's just no evidence there. Could be not. There's no evidence. Minus evidence, we can talk all day long. No, nothing. But we don't know yet because the person who's, you're not going to find anything out from Tyler. Whoever's involved in all this stuff is not going to be speaking. No, I don't believe this. Remember something, and this is an absolute truth. Plausible deniability means if you want to get something done, don't get somebody who is directly involved in the organization. For example, when 9/11, I don't think Bush, Cheney, any of those people were involved. They might have known something. They might have moved the other way. They might have not been surprised. But involved, no. You don't ever want somebody in it to be involved. They get tripped up. Their fingerprints. You don't. No. Absolutely not. Who? And from a worse point of view, who in their right mind would ever want to enlist Erica for something like that? No, she doesn't know. She may be a lot of things. She may be, she is. She's no killer. I'm sorry. Neither are those other folks. They don't have it. Nope. Understand what we're talking about here. Understand, this is pretty tough stuff. I mean, this is like Sammy the Bull theoretical stuff. This is serious stuff here. And sometimes we make it, caught up in our fun and everything, but no. It may be a lot of things. But I would say, don't put your money on that. Nope. just doesn't smell. No, 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 no. Because you want to make sure, remember, somebody's going to get caught, somebody's going to get pinched, and they're going to squeal and sing and get scared, and you don't want to get anywhere near it. You can say, don't look at me. You know, I might have been, maybe I was on that tarmac a little earlier or whatever, but I'm not involved in this. I may be a lot of things, but a Sammy the Bull, that's no. So always keep things into perspective. And we may never find out. I know we're not talking about this. Look at Savannah Guthrie's mother. They don't even know what happened. And they're finding other people, by the way. This is the FBI. I don't know if the FBI. Remember when the FBI meant something? Remember when? Now what does it mean? It means this. You notice how I go like that? When I can't help but making that painful face. But who would believe any of this? Who would believe with the Epstein case? They still haven't. And you see that, honey, where some of the victims are going to be bringing lawsuits? Good. Keep going. Does this make these Pam Bondi? Hey, I've got the binders. What? The binders. The what? The binders? You got the binders? What the hell are the binders? I don't know, but here, take them. And they gave them to these influencers who never said a word about it. Oh, thanks. Anybody see Timmy Pool? Where's little Timmy? Little with the baby pool? What's it? Is he anywhere around? Remember him? He was all these people, these big mouths. They come out and they yell and they scream. Anybody see Benny Shapiro? Where is he doing anything? Is anybody? Is it? Who is this? Trump skipped CPAC for the first time. See where it's going? Remember, look where it's going. Look at the group. Look at the murmuration. Look at the crows. Look at the starlings. Look how they're moving. Look. Follow it. There's a brand new group. There's a brand new grand opening of people like you and me who might not have been politically focused or, excited before, but we are. Remember, once Candace says, okay, my friends, this is what I think you should do. Imagine her turning her people loose. This is what I'm telling you. I hope she can't run for anything, but all she has to do is say this. There's a guy, huh? That's the big finale? Oh, it's done. It's finished. It's absolutely finished. There's this other kind of stuff, too, which is very interesting. By the way, I'm curious. You don't have to do this, and you don't have to in any way be a part of this. You don't have to, but well, U.S. to allow Russian oil tanker to reach Cuba. What is happening? There are now over 50,000 troops in the Middle East. Okay. Maybe they're there. There's no way that Trump could possibly say, let's go into Tehran. No way. If you don't send enough, go there, turn around and come back. May I ask a question? You don't have to do this. I'm just curious. Humor me. In one word. You don't have to. Please, it's none of my business. But I've never gotten a feel. How do you define yourself politically in one word? Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, libertarian, independent, unknown, undecided, non-committed, uncommittal, non-committed, Zoroastrian, anarcho-syndicalist. Stephen Salty says, also, big love for Lynn's Warriors. I do watch, just don't comment. Being a father of daughters, the subject pains me, but I support, always love. Thank you, sir. Good, good man. Stephen Salty. What do you call yourself? What do you call yourself? Look at this. I like this. Apathetic party. Independent. Anti-war. Disgusted. Independent. Agnostic. Yes. I used to say I was a political atheist. I don't know anything. American. Ex-Trump person. Uh-oh. I'm getting more of that. Independent. Free thinker. I like this. Independent. See what we're doing? Love, 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 love Lionel. That's a good party. I'm not a democrat. LMIA. Discombobulated. Yes. Clueless. Moralist. Good. Reform MAGA. Distrustful. Lost. That's it. Not committed. Non-committed. Independent. I was giving the benefit of the doubt until I learned about, okay, Sasha Riley, other people, conservative, independent. Brasileira Mia says, politically unalive. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. This other thing. Politically unalive. Thank you. Very nice, very kind of you. Fascinating. See, I don't, see, this is the part which I have this wonderful line, and it was from Balzac. By the way, anybody named Balzac is okay. I don't, but it's this one line. I'm going to get it straight. Balzac says, "I belong to the opposition party, which is called life. I belong to the opposition party. I belong to the opposition party." That's me. I don't know. I am without. I am without. You know, atheism is without theism. Agnosticism is becoming unsure, but without doesn't mean a denial. It just means I am without. For example, are you married? No, I'm single. Are you single or are you not married? See the difference? The single person may say, I have nothing to do with being married. Don't say that. I'm also unwidowed because I'm not married. You want to go through this stuff when I'm not, what I am and what I'm not? What does that mean? I don't speak French. What do you call that? I don't know. I don't speak French. I'm not saying French doesn't exist. I'm not saying I hate French. I just don't understand. I don't understand it. So, and I hate even when people say, well, you know what? Well, what kind of music? What kind of music do you listen to? Do you only listen to? What? What music do you only listen to? I don't only listen to anything. There are a few things when I can say I'm unquestionably married. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm married. 100%. That's it. That's it. There's no, you know, they say, for example, are you, oh, we get into this all the time. I'm going to say, well, do you ever play? No, I'm married. There's no, I'm alive. I'm a male. You know, but as far as the philosophy goes, what music do I only want to hear? Nothing. I've got some I like more than others, but no. What do you only want to eat? Nothing. We might have a few things we don't want to eat, but so why is politics? Why must I align myself? And why do I have these two shitty, whatever these people are? It's like going into this worse. Have you ever been to a buffet? kind of like before the stuff is out or after the stuff is done. And you see like some wilted lettuce. They got all this ice. And you go, what is this? This is terrible. You hungry? Not for this. That's politics. That's politics. You take Trump, and what he did was what he has said and what he promised and what he is and what he's become and what he hasn't done. And oh my God, it's like, it's like, what is this? It's like having a troubled kid. How's your boy today? Well, he's acting up. He's been pretty good lately, but God, Democrats, forget it. I have no interest in it. None. Do you know? I said this to somebody. And they didn't understand it. Communism makes more sense than the Democratic Party. Because communism has rules. At least I can say, that's a good rule, it's a bad rule. I don't know what Democrats are. I don't know what they are. It's like they're none of the above or something. Brasileira says, not such a thing as public servant anymore. They serve themselves. The Uniparty. Yes, Uniparty, by the way. Uniparty, thank you very much, Carla. Uniparty goes back all the way to the time of Wendell Willkie. Read Carol Quigley, Tragedy and Hope, about the idea of the two sides of the same coin. I don't know what this means. I don't know. So I don't know. I hate when they take something that I love and they brand it like they say, like, this is the flag. This is, the GOP. It's like, quit shaking it like that. What are you doing? Making a fool out of me. Quit using it as a prop. Quit using it as a lapel pin. I'm serious about this. Stop it. Stop doing this. I just have this and I think both of us agree. The first rule about government is that I will allow you. Government is my servant. Okay, for example, government, Carl, I'm sure you or anybody else, if you hire somebody. Again, we've never had a housekeeper, but if ever I did, I'm going to say, understand something. You are here to do one thing and one thing only. This, and this, and get out. You don't live here. You don't look around. You don't read any mail. You don't invade my privacy. You're here to do this. That's it. You don't tell me what to do. I tell you what to do. If you don't like it, leave. That's government to me. I will let you do a few things. Okay? I'll give you a charge card to use, but there's a limit on it. Okay? You can go to the store and buy stuff, but there's a limit. So you can't take this and buy a car. You can't do that. I limit you. That's with us with the purse strings. You don't tell me. You don't decide what my household budget's going to be. And also, you don't pick a fight with the neighbors. I do that if I want to do that. You're the servant. What are you doing? What do you pick? You're not going to go to war. You're not going to do that. And you're not going to decide what is and isn't permissible, or when you're going to work or when you're not going to work. And you're not going to tell me what I can and can't do. Under no circumstances are you going to ever tell me. And if I want to fire you, I fire you. And you don't have term limits. You don't have terms. I may agree, okay, a year. And that's it. After that, you're out of here. It doesn't work like that. You will never get the upper hand. You will never get, remember how Hazel, do you remember Hazel? Remember Shirley Booth and Mr. B, and she was like always in charge, like Florida, where the cleaning lady is always the maid, becomes like, what was his name? Remember the butler, Robert Guillaume? Benson. Remember Benson? Benson was like no. We don't do that. Alfred, close enough. Oh, Alfred, Batman. But that's it. Heidi says, the two parties are us and them. Yes. And here's the thing too. I want to listen to you This sounds crazy. I want to hear what you have to say. I don't think you're crazy. I can understand exactly. Don't ever get into this argument, but pro-life, pro-choice, pro-whatever, I can understand both arguments. I can understand it. I've been around forever. I know what I'm talking about. I know what's going on. I want to listen to you. Got to make a decision, but I can listen to you. And you're not crazy for thinking these. You're not crazy. You're not evil. Some people are evil. Some people are evil. Whenever you do something with kids, okay? Whenever you do something with kids. You see, let me explain something. You want to go like this? Great. You want to take little kids and dress them up in soldier uniforms and have them salute and swear? No, no. I'm not going to make a bunch of little automatons. No, don't you want a bunch of kids to swear allegiance to Donald Trump? No. No. These are kids. You don't do that. Kids are going to be kids. Same thing I feel when you take a kid and you bring in things like drag shows. And what are you doing? Puberty blocking? What the hell's the matter with you? I can't believe I'm even seeing this. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? There's nothing to do with politics. It's common sense. You don't do that. It's ridiculous. Law and order? Oh, absolutely. Remember, okay, servant, I'll let you do a few things. Number one, I'll let you be the cops. Okay? Carla, I'll let you be the cops. You got that? Miss Music, I'll let you be, you can be in charge of garbage. You pick up garbage. You're the cops. You're the fire department. Your public schools, your libraries, your parks, and your streets and potholes, and that's about it. And we'll have some city administration. You gotta have water, and you gotta have a certain amount of bureaucracy. That's it. I mean, that's it. My friend Harry Brown years ago, he was the libertarian candidate. He said, if I was a president, Washington would be a ghost town. I would close more. You wouldn't recognize it. Is it libertarian? I don't know. But that's not government. That's deep state. That's something that's weird. That's a very strange thing. And the first thing I would do is, I swear to God, I go right there to 42nd and First Avenue, to the UN, and get out of it. Just get out of it. Completely. The UN, Council, well, that's CFR is more private, but World Health Organization and all the nonsense, and out of it. No. I might listen to what you're saying is in an advisory capacity, but no UN, no globalists, no nothing. Period. End of discussion. And wars? No. And any iteration of war, police action, limited military operation, I'm giving you the money so you can kill people. We don't want, no. That's like hiring a hitman. No, I'm not going to do that. No. Especially these hypocrites who all of a sudden claim that they're Christian, they love Jesus, but they'll kill and bomb children, they'll wipe them out. I mean, it's insane. Do you know what we did? I'm still trying to get over Vietnam. I don't even know what the hell that was about. So I think we understand this. So this is good. And that's it. And that's as far as the discussion I want to go. I want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about, I'm not a Republican. I'm a registered independent because I got to be something. The Bull Moose Party is not available, so I'm an independent, I guess. Both of us are. We just don't. Who? Marco Rubio. J.D. Vance? J.D. Vance is owned by Peter Thiel, Palantir. What are you, nuts? Plus the guy wears eyeliner. What the fuck is that all about? He wears eyeliner. Don't you see that? Haven't you seen that? This is the most important thing in the 50% wear makeup. Thoughts of Kash Patel hacked email being leaked. Well, did you see this other stuff, which is the most fantastic? Look at this. Red pill. Oh, yes. Kristen Lynn said, Lionel red-pilled me with Building 7 back in 2017. You know it. How can you not? How can you not? And oh God, I swear to God, I see that the creepy Cash Patel and that creepy girlfriend, and he's sending planes and security details for her. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Christy Nome, the creepiest one, and she's still boffing Lewandowski. And talk about that cuck husband of hers. Oh my God. Gonuto, right? Carla? Gonuto, putatarros. You know, the horns. I'm like, my God, your wife is just, you're a cuckold. What's the matter with you? Like my friend said, he's got more horns than the Hartford stag. This guy is just, does anybody have any self-respect anymore? My God, it's just, who are these people? Alina Habba, Pam Bondi, who's like innocent. She has no business being the Attorney General. No way. And Dan Bongino, remember that guy? Does the president say like, hi, get him out of here? At least he did the right thing. And Bobby Kennedy, did you hear Bobby Kennedy? Bobby Kennedy said, I'm not going to imitate him because he has spasmodic dysphonia. There's a name, Ruby Begonia, and spasmodic dysphonia, ring a bell. He said, this man, President Trump, is such a genius, you can give him a pen and he can draw out the Middle East from memory. There's only a few countries. What are you talking about? What? This is the best you can do? He said this. What about the vaccine? I'm not getting the vaccine. And some doing pull-ups and push-ups and drinking blue water, which lasted about a week, and they stopped taking that shit, whatever that was. And the mitochondria. Everything was the mitochondria. Remember that? And I'm going to get rid of red dye number 3. Okay. What about the vaccine? Yeah. And I'm going to go to Steak and Shake, and we're going to have beef tallow. You're going to boil, you're going to fry spuds in beef fat? That's better? What is going on here? You see where Oz wants to go back to TV? Yep. Dr. Oz, he wants out of there. He's tired of this shit. What is he doing? What is anybody doing? Honestly, what are they doing? What? I mean, when I see that group, that one, look, all I know is this. If you don't like Trump, okay. Who else? Who else? Give me you want a Democrat? No. You'll get a chance to vote him out next time, okay? He's here. You don't like him? Great. I don't like a lot of people. J.D. Vance, I don't know what the hell he's about. Okay, fine. Terrific. Do you remember Joe? Did you see Melania walking with that robot? Bad. Didn't look good. Did not look good. Did you see that? The worst robot there was. This was like the one they had at remember the Verizon? We went to a Verizon. They had this, yeah. Remember the robot like at ShopRite, where there's a spill in aisle 3. It's like, this is the worst robot there is. But he walked like Biden did. And Melania, I don't think she knows what the hell's going on. Look, she's a good woman, but I think they're just using her. Frankly, with this, this is AI. Are you sure about this? You sure about this? Okay, all right, But when they brought that robot out, it was Joe Biden. So, as I say again, you want to go back to Joe Biden? Remember this guy? This guy is incontinent. He's dropping a load in his shorts, and he's out of his mind. And remember that good friend of ours in Washington who said, and I think he was a Democrat, he says, he's not here. There's no Biden here. We don't know where he is. He ain't in D.C. The auto pen, we never got to the bottom of that. Trump signs everything. Tucker Massey would be a great ticket. Tucker could not withstand if Tucker dares run, his baggage, he's not cut out for that stuff. He's a great commentator. Don't lose him then. To be a politician, you got to sell your soul and basically hang up 30-40% of your efficacy. Massey's interesting for a while. Let's see what else he has to do. Don't pick somebody just, it's like Rokana, or somebody all of a sudden you like Joe Kent, Let me see what the whole program is. Not just a few things. But what I'm telling you is that these folks, this group was so horrible. Truth is a lie told by a perceived honest person. Interesting. Don't get me going about truth, because truth is one of those things that I don't. People always say, just tell the truth. You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that? I always tell people, one time we were, was like a program director, and he said, just tell the truth. And I said, I was kind of kidding, I said, you want me to tell the truth about black people? He said, what? Do you want me to tell the truth? He said, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean the truth? I said, the truth. He said, wait. I said, see, you don't want me to tell the truth. What I mean was, you don't want me to tell the truth about everything. It's some kind of truth. You want me to tell the truth about the mayor, about you, about this job, about how much. Do you want me to tell the truth about everything? No filter, no tact. Just say it. It's the truth. You want the truth? Really? Well, no. Well, don't say you want the truth. People who say they want it, they don't know what they're talking about. Truth sometimes is unvarnished. It's a brutal pill. It gets you lose friends. It's just, oh no. Truth is tact. It's reservation. It's decorum. It's a lot of other stuff. You don't ever just speak the truth. That's the bottom line. You don't. You just, understand. Remember one thing. In life, whatever you do, pick the hill you want to die on. Does this really mean something to you? Is this really critical? Okay. Remember this. Because you're going to say something, and if it doesn't work, they will bounce you. But you'll have said it, but you won't have your job, or you won't have your position, or the person that you were going to marry leaves you, or it's also, you just, this idea that you can say whatever you want or truth is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It's never made sense. I don't know where that comes from. Don't ever teach your kids, do not tell the truth. Be very careful. The truth is what kills you free. What kills you free, what the hell was I trying to say? It kills you. The truth will kill you free. Write that down. I don't even know what that means. There's something we can work with. I've said, there used to be this thing in radio called the swap. By the way, tonight, don't forget 1 to 6 a.m., 1 to 5 a.m. on WABC. Brasileira Mia says, truth is what we will never get from politicians worldwide. That is true. And thank you. We'll never get the truth, but we'll also never get like legitimate ambition that affects only us, or something that there's not selling out. For example, do you know that Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, after Mark Zuckerberg lost his case, his two big cases last week, first thing he does is he marches right into Johnson's office and making a deal. Why is that important? Zuckerberg, Meta, is going to build the biggest power center ever in Louisiana. Biggest. Mike Johnson is going to do nothing, nor should he, to an extent, to compromise that. So is it corruption? It's not corruption. It's politics. You want to be a part of that? I don't want to be a part of that. Do you know that when you go to Congress, the first thing you do is you're on the phone and you're raising money? You spend half of your time raising money. It's a waste of time. You and I can do more here. I can do more with you right here. And Candace can do more. And Tucker can do more than anybody else. Period. How do we clean up politics? Independence? Nah. You just keep trying. You just put it this way. You make politics more and more irrelevant. You make people irrelevant. You make politicians have to do things for you. I've got a friend of mine, Vinny, I told you this. And he said one time, remember, we can drown them in our urine. And I know it sounds gross, but what he meant was there's so many of us. I told you before, if Candace says, let's assume there's a guy who's in charge of Ways and Means, or let's say there's in charge of such and such, and some congressional position. And she says, if you don't vote this way, we're going to primary your ass tomorrow. Really? Tomorrow. What does that mean? Well, we're going to do the following. I'm going to have somebody run against you, and I'm going to take all my people. And by the way, you can put all the money you want into it. I've got the votes. I got people right there who are committed votes. I've got the votes. I can put you out of office immediately. You can spend all the money you want. These people are loyal. They'll listen to me. And if Candace Owens, for example, said, in District 3, District 2, Louisiana, Montana, whatever it is, I want you to vote this and get rid of this guy. And I want you to do everything you're paying. I want you to raise money and donate and do everything else. And you know what they'll do? They'll say, okay. And they'll do that. They will do it. That's the most powerful person in the world. Powerful. You're like in the union. You're like, wow. That's how you clean up politics. You neutralize them. You say, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna boot you out. You're done. You're finished. And it takes a lot of guts and a lot of, you're gonna have to just. It's like trying to get rid of predators. One step at a time. It's going to be something that is apparently predation is a part of human nature in so many sick people's minds, and being a crook is so much a part of being a politician. So, in any event, well, listen, dear friends, what a great night. Brasileira mia, obrigado, thank you so much, and all my other great friends. Please follow Mrs. L. She's got a great story. Tomorrow, Joanne Bogard. Watch her piece on, what did we just do? It was, on the AI piece. Listen to what Mrs. L says about Speaker Mike Johnson. So go to Lynn's Warriors. Sign up right now. And listen to what she has to say. Lynn's Warriors here on YouTube. Lynn's Warriors. I appreciate it. I mean it sincerely. All right, dear friends. Thank you so much again to you great super chatters and all that. Thank you so much. What a nice night. An hour and 33 minutes. I may not be in Baron Coleman's thing. Damn, 3 hours. But it's the best I can do. Thank you, my friends. Have a great and glorious night. Tonight, WABC, overnights, 770. Get the app. 7:70 a.m. here in New York. 1 to 5 overnights. It is wild. Overnights, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning in New York. Dear God. This is what you read about. This is what you heard about. This is like Scorsese and De Niro and Harvey Keitel on a bad hair day. And no, I don't know what that means. All right, my friends, have a great night. We love you. Again, thank you so much for your kindness. See you mañana. Don't forget, Monkey's Dead. Show's over. Sue ya. Dad.